Hi guys, and welcome to a long belated episode 15 of my retrospective look at TT Games LEGO games of the past. Hopefully this isn't your first time watching a video from the series, but if it is, please do head to our YouTube channel or lifeinbrick.com for the full series. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Anyway, after such a long break between episodes, only one franchise is worthy. The one that started the series in the first place. Lightsabers at the ready, people, because we are heading back to a galaxy far, far away. After a 5-year hiatus, 2016 saw the LEGO Star Wars franchise finally launch a new title, and from the moment you start the game, it is very, very clear that LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens isn't just the usual rehashing of tried and tested gaming mechanics. This is something very different. I remember at the time thinking this was actually the first LEGO game that actually felt like it was built for the current generation of machines. A lot happened in the galaxy far, far away during that lull. 5 years is a long time after all. Now, Disney were firmly in control of the franchise at that point and had a 6-movie plan that included a full trilogy continuing the Skywalker saga, as well as a trio of spin-offs. Sadly, now we know that thanks to Solo, any spin-offs are very unlikely. Now, back in 2016, however, the franchise was enjoying a level of prosperity not seen in decades, and the fans were loving every minute of it. This was, of course, way before the fan uproar over The Last Jedi. This was a time when we witnessed Star Wars at its greatest, as the December before, the movie franchise successfully returned to the big screen with the release of Star Wars The Force Awakens, breaking 40 box office records in the process. Anyway, we're here for a game review, so let's get back to that. As the name would suggest, the game is predominantly based on Episode 7, but this isn't a straightforward brick translation of the movie. TT Games have significantly expanded on the movie's story and actually filled in some of the story gaps not covered by the big screen. Given that previous games in the series have had a full trilogy or two to draw material from, it's no surprise that this game, based on just one movie, looked beyond the basic source for content. Throwing you straight into the action, the prologue for the story takes us back in time 30 years to the climactic end of the Star Wars trilogy. A streamlined version of Return of the Jedi serves as your introduction to this new virtual galaxy and all its new gaming mechanics. From learning how to use multi-build functionality to getting to grips with piloting the Millennium Falcon through the inner workings of the Death Star, the game does everything it can to prepare players for the new toys which TT Games would develop for this game. From this point on, the story loyally follows the big screen adventure, with open world areas based on key locations in the movie serving as the intermediaries between levels. Much like its predecessors, the game's attention to detail when recreating these iconic scenes from the source material is nothing short of incredible. Of course, this isn't a full scene-by-scene replication. LEGO has to add its own mark, and it's done so brilliantly. As the original LEGO Star Wars game proved, the sci-fi saga is surprisingly ripe for mocking, and TT Games pull it off so well. And yet still staying true to the story, the gags just add that extra level of fun to an already enjoyable experience. Now, where LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens also benefits compared to its previous galactic adventures is the audio. While not only featuring sound clips ripped straight from the movie, it also includes brand new dialogue from actual members of the cast. Now, after that rather important spoiler event from the movie, well, is it still a spoiler? Sure, you've all seen the movie by now. So, spoiler alert, if you've been living under a rock for the last few years, Han Solo dies. Yeah, take that in, people, if you haven't seen the film. It's a heart-wrenching moment. Anyway, so after he dies, many believe that was the last time we were going to see Harrison Ford's Han. So the fact that he's added unique vocals to the game, and it's still, even to this day, there's a level of awesome there. It's just not possible to register. I definitely don't remember him using the phrase Wookiee cookies in the movie. There, of course, are a few main cast that are missing, sadly, but their voice doubles are on top form, especially Carrie Fisher's, where the movie clips couldn't quite make what Leia needed to say. The transition to the voice double is seamless. Much like LEGO Jurassic World and LEGO Marvel's Avengers, however, there are a few places where the movie audio clips don't quite work. The quality does vary due to the abrupt cut-off of lines when retelling the story in a slightly different way. These are a rarity though, and in general the mixture of movie and new audio blends in really well for the experience for the player. Now, moving on to the gameplay and everything, it still feels fresh and new now. The HUD had a facelift, and even now the most basic of the construction puzzles just feel like you're playing a LEGO game for the first time. It's quite a great experience as a veteran of the series. Now, this feeling is improved further by the mechanics that TT Games introduced, which were brilliantly merged into the normal gameplay, so that you organically move from one to the other without any disconnect. Now, one of my favourites is the blaster battles, which sees you dive for cover during a stormtrooper attack. You then aim and fire while protected. It's all very third-person shooter, and you even get a medal at the end of it. Another big addition is the arena-style ship-based battles and dogfights. The first Force Awakens experience you get with flying this is over Jakku Desert in the Falcon, taking down TIE fighters, and yes, it is as awesome as it sounds. The controls for this mode are surprisingly fluid. In my experience, LEGO Star Wars games of old have always been kind of clunky with their controls when flying ships. A decade of experience, however, and TT Games have nailed it. That said, even now in 2018, no LEGO franchise has done vehicle-based levels as well as Star Wars, and The Force Awakens kind of takes that baton on really well. The multi-builds are probably the most well-known of the mechanics, having featured predominantly in the early promotion for that game. That said, despite being exceptionally brilliant, they haven't been overly used in games that have followed since, with the exception of LEGO The Incredibles, but even there it was only a kind of a minor thing that showed up on rare occasions. What this functionality essentially allows you to do is take a pile of bricks and build it in more than one predetermined construction. There are multiple possibilities available. Now, this adds a new dimension to the puzzle as it requires a little bit of thought as to what you're going to do. Now, in some instances, one option may help you get to the next part of the level, while the other option might get you a red brick or a mini kit. In some cases, you've actually got to use all the different stages of the multi-build to do just the story. So, it gives an extra thought process to the whole player experience, and it makes it a bit more interesting, especially if you've played every other LEGO game coming up to this point. Now, once you've finished the main story, saved the galaxy, and located Luke Skywalker, there's still plenty to sink your teeth into. Now, the actual story for the movie is actually really short, but as I mentioned before, there are a number of interesting extras beyond the main story, such as side missions, that actually help fill in the gaps between the movies. Now, these are unlocked after you've got a certain amount of gold bricks, so while you can jump into them between story missions, it's very unlikely that you'll unlock all of them before completing the campaign. For those looking for that all-important 100%, there are a number of collectibles to search across all the open worlds and levels. Searching the galaxy for carbonite being an actual highlight, fans are going to love the nods to the original Star Wars throughout the game. Those carbonite things actually unlock special characters, which are kind of key to the whole Skywalker saga. Now, speaking of the open worlds, they are literally other worlds, from Jakku to the Resistance base to the Starkiller base. Each open world is a huge environment of its own right, with so much to explore. This game it's a very fun 100%. Character-wise, and LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens brings a massive variety to play with. Every character you can possibly think of from the movie, and there's even some from other Star Wars movies. Now, the same can be said about the vehicles, and they even include, so the bigger vehicles include a mini build version, which you can use just in the open world just to go along land. It's actually quite an awesome extra feature, and it's one they have again used in LEGO The Incredibles. Overall, LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens is just sheer brilliance. It's such a great game and a brilliant kind of follow-on from the complete saga, and even LEGO Star Wars 3 if you want to include that one, though it's not my favourite. Now, the first LEGO Star Wars became the standard by which all other LEGO games followed. Yes, there are a number of innovations that have been added over the years, but the core template has always been the same from the first game. Now, while even today there are still plenty of mechanics still following in that original idea, LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens certainly proved that TT Games weren't prepared to just let the experience become stale. Now, as much as I adore TT Games' offerings, this series surely proved that I love every LEGO game to some degree, with the exception of LEGO Indy 2, but you'll have to watch the episode for that. Replaying LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens has again proven to me that LEGO Star Wars is by far the best franchise. Sorry, Harry Potter fans. It's a close call. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to know what your favourite LEGO game is. It could be LEGO Star Wars like me. Anyway, I'll be back very soon with another video. I'll probably be returning to DC Supervillains, but it was nice to take a break and focus on LEGO Star Wars because I love this game so very much. If you haven't played it, please do get it. It's well worth getting, and it's probably quite cheap to buy second hand now. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to go to lifeandbrick.com to see everything else we do, and I'll be back very soon. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.